What's up guys, welcome back for another YgoPro Duel video. New Super Quantum cards, who would have thought that, right? A couple of new cards are actually quite good. The new level 7 one being the White Layer, like the White Power Ranger, I guess. Superb card, I mean it has multiple effects that helps the archetype, well, like an archetype that got neutered by Master Rule 4 because of the most obvious reasons, right? So the new one, the level 7 one, and a new quick play spell. The new level 7 one has multiple effects. It has like a built-in Foolish Burial effect when it's summoned. To send any quantum card from your deck to the graveyard, a monster, it will copy the level, and you know, at the same time using the quantum monster's graveyard effect, right, when it's sent to the graveyard. Its second effect is when your White Power Ranger, your White Layer, is sent to the graveyard by a Brilliant Fusion or whatever, right, by detaching or something, doesn't really matter. You can search your Elfen, you know, is it a cat or a rabbit? I think it's a cat, the level 1, right, Elfen, indeed. So again, fantastic card. Elfen is your heart and soul of the deck. Again, Lambda is here in the deck, same for the Mekk-Knight engine. There are a couple of Garnet-alike cards here in the deck, being double Lazuli, and the Double Driver. That might seem strange, but as we'll see, as you'll be seeing in a couple of moments, Double Driver, I guess, is a little bit justified. I'm running well over 40 cards. It seems to be much more of a trend now in today's format. I feel more comfortable of adding in more cards and running well over 40 rather than just cutting quite of important engine cards and putting the deck at 40 cards. So anyway, as you saw, Lambda is in the deck because of the Mekk-Knight engine as well, and I was looking like for a generic Link 2 exceed, Link 2 monster, right? A Link 2 monster as in Lambda, very easy to get on the field, opening up those extra monster zones, which is something that Super Quantums definitely lacked, post Master Rule 4, again, in Master Rule 4. So Lambda lets me drop the Gamma. Yeah, indeed, I'm just running. There were like duels where I was only running like one driver, but I eventually added in a second copy just in case, if the opponent is, at least if I'm forced to use Gamma during my opponent's turn. So Omega returns, having the purple right as well, so yeah, impermanence is not going to matter that much. Yeah, just enters the scoop phase, doesn't really matter that much. Another example, he gets to start. My opening hand is okay. Reveal the Gamma on his Vision, Vion, indeed Vision Hero Vion's effect. He reveals Blossom, so I guess, I'm not really sure, right? I mean, if the Gamma would have been, at least if the Vision Hero Vion would have been destroyed, he would have not been able to go for Isolde, I guess. Not really sure, right? So, okay, eventually he's going for Summon Sorceress, but he does have Call by the Grave to negate or stop the Ghost Ogre here. Okay, I think this was one of the duels where I was only running one Gamma or two Gammas, or at least drivers, right? Apologies. So yeah, just normal summon green. Green gets the extra special summon, I guess, getting the White Layer eventually on my side of the field because Elfen was tributed, right? And then depending on your opponent picking either blue, red, or yeah, it depends on which your third card was, either white or the green one. Preferably here in this situation, I guess blue, maybe getting a search as well, but yeah, an extra special summon off of red layer also. So I believe this new White Layer is definitely a solid addition for the deck, but don't get me wrong, like, always feel free to leave suggestions, since the card ratios is still something that I'm looking, that I'm, you know, just figuring out, I guess. Multiple Brilliant Fusions in the main deck as well, with double Lazuli. Brilliant Fusion is such a disgusting card, giving you the extra normal summon and setting up your White Layer immediately in the graveyard, potentially getting the graveyard effect of searching your Elfen. Just a fantastic card as a whole. And again, running well over 50 cards, so kind of justifying adding in those extra couple of bricks. The field spell here doesn't really matter too much, since I'm lacking the blue layer. You know, the blue Super Quantum popping the spells and traps, but yeah, just Boral Sword eventually can attack for a game. So another example, ABCs again, going first, normal summon blue, yeah, blue layer indeed, searching, is it the quick play spell? The quick play spell is okay. I mean, as soon as your one of your Super Quantum monsters is destroyed by battle, and I believe card effects as well, you can use the quick play spell card to special summon any Super Quantum exceed from your extra deck, so you know, the smaller Super Quantums, and then after that special summon the Super Quantum monster with the same, well, attributes. You know, let's say you special summon the blue Super Quantum Exceed, you can special summon the level 3 Super Quantum blue one from your deck. So that can be important to, let's say, equip it during your own turn and, well, maybe pop a spell or put something face down or pop a monster with the red Super Quantum, right? Normal Summon Elfen, and yeah, Call by the Grave is so good against this deck. You can potentially block the grave effects of your Super Quantum monsters, and let's not forget, Call by the Grave also works during my own turn as well, if you use it during his turn. So blocking something like Blue Layer is definitely a big problem, since I need Blue Layer's Pot of Avarice effect to send back those resources. Anyway, Gadget eventually lets him, well, I think I have to Ash Blossom, doesn't really matter too much. He does go for Cleave for Genius, and Genius is a problem, negating the rank 4 Exceed here, you know, with the Book of Moon effect. Just waited for it to put his Buster Dragon face down, but yeah, anyway, using the spell to special summon the Red Rod, Red can eventually force out ABC Dragon Buster here in this situation. So equip Red, detach Red, and Red will also eventually trigger by reborning something, but most importantly, the ABC Dragon Buster is forced out. And here, yep, indeed, this was one of those games where I was running only one, yeah, driver, right? Otherwise, another copy of Driver would have been game over, just negating the Buster Dragon, and that would have been my game, and again, dropping the Omega. But anyway, going for blue, going for Cramples, and eventually going for Magnus. One of the few duels when I was able to go for Magnus as well. And I think, okay, I should be in a good position, especially with purple Mekk-Knight as well. The, yeah, Gamma sadly not lighted. That would have been very, very solid. But nope, that's not the case. And here, okay, you might go for something like Boral Sword. But if I'm not mistaken, I should be able to use Magnus during my opponent's turn as well. Like bouncing back something. And I think Magnus has 5 materials. But nope, the game wasn't giving me the option, even though you can like hold down the button. But unless I'm missing something, I would, or at least I should have been able to bounce back Boral Sword. But again, correct me if I'm wrong. My apologies if I would be wrong. So yeah, I just eventually scoop it up. Doesn't really matter here too much. Lostix, no, still a couple of duels left, but against Thunder Dragons is definitely a problematic deck. I mean, prevents searches, and yeah, in my hand, not that great. I draw into green, I think. Yep, there it is. That's good. Yeah, the Brilliant Fusion was stopped. If we didn't have Edge Blossom, my field would have been super solid. I mean, Brilliant Fusion to send, well, Lazuli, and probably the White Layer searching out your Quantum Cat, you know, your Elfen, I believe the name is, Normal Summon Elfen, etc, etc. So getting the effect off, that would have been very, very solid. But nope, Ash Blossom still, at least hand traps in general, like Impermanence, those are definitely big answers against this deck. So double Brilliant Fusion is a superb card. That's right, the Prelaplant Engine is here in the deck, same for the Lone Fires to dig for that, at least to dig for that Brilliant Fusion. And at the same time, it's basically a 1 card, well, 1.5 card Lambda Surge as well, and Lambda again lets me use those Gammas even though I do control monsters. So a very good opening turn, getting that White Layers effect, sending something from my deck to the graveyard. But I think, well, I sent the blue one from my deck to the graveyard, so eventually it will gain like the level 3 effect, or at least it will become level 3 to go for the Cramples, I believe the name is, to potentially pop any spell and trap from my opponent. But I probably should have gone for the level 4. I think that now in hindsight that would have been much better, like putting something from my opponent face down with the green Super Quantum Exceed, I believe would have been a bit better. But okay, I guess that's fine, right? Dropping the Gamma during my opponent's turn, I probably should have kept Gamma for ABC Dragon Buster. But yeah, again here, the Call by the Grave is such a big card. First of all, negating Blue's effect during this turn, right? So I can't send something back from my deck, from my graveyard back to the deck. And during this turn, I can't use Blue's effect to, well, you know, get a surge. So that's so problematic. Very unfortunate here is that the blue was picked at random. Again, the effect is negated, otherwise it would have been very, very solid. So I think my only options, or one of my only options here, is to go for Boral Sword, indeed, Boral Sword with the rank 4 Exceed, again potentially Book of Moon during your opponent's turn. So I was like, okay, this should be my game, I guess. He's very low on life points, and I can like Book of Moon own anything from my opponent. But nope, the Kaiju says no, like the bane to this deck's existence, like getting rid of Magnus with that one Kaiju. I mean, Kaijus are so good, right? Not too many decks are running them, but like Kaijus are just instant outs to this deck's core strategy of relying on your Quantum Exceeds, and like Magnus, for example. So I think I have the option to go for Borreload Dragon. Yep, indeed, Borreload Dragon. One of my, I think the only comeback card I have here. Getting those extra monsters on the field, and extra search, I guess. Lambda being the generic Link 2 monster. And yeah, purple, there is Borreload indeed. Attacking over the ABC Dragon Buster. I believe it's his third copy? Yeah, indeed, his third copy. So I was like, okay, we're both very low on life points, and I'm not really sure if he does have like outs for this particular field, unless of course he's running his own Borreload Dragon as well. But Undercloak Taker, yep, Undercloak Taker is going to seal the deal. So yeah, just putting the Burrow Sword to 0 attack, and that's yeah, that's game over, I guess. So, but again, very solid cards. This new Super Quantum Quick Play spell card. I'm not running the trap card, not really a huge fan of that, but the white layer is fantastic support. The Quick Play spell is also very solid support for this deck. So, like always, guys, feel free to leave suggestions. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching, and feel free to leave a comment or like if you enjoyed the video. Lithium signing out. Peace.